Hello, and welcome to Workers' Compensation Blocks 14 through 33. This is the last of our videos in the series for CMS 1500 form completions. So with Block 14, we are going to put that date of illness or injury. Now, we will not be using menstrual period because the patient, if they're coming in for workers' compensation, this is either an illness or injury. So we will type that information in here, and we will use the qualifier 431. If there was another date associated with the date in Block 14, we'll note that in Block 15. It's really important to pay attention to Block 16, especially as workers' compensation. We need to note the date the patient was unable to work in their current occupation. Remember that to date is going to be the last day they are unable to work. So if that patient is able to return to work on July 1st, that to date would be June 30th. If we have a referring physician, we'll type that information in Block 17. Otherwise, we're going to leave it blank. Same with Block 17B. If the patient is hospitalized, we are going to put that information in Block 18. Block 19, we'll leave blank. Block 20, we will either mark yes or no. If we mark yes, remember to put the corresponding charges in the right-hand side of that block. With Block 21, we need to indicate that we are using ICD-10-CM for our diagnosis code, so we are going to go ahead and put ICD, or 0 in for ICD-10. Now, with the diagnosis codes for a workers' compensation case, this is typically going to either be dealing with the injury or disease. You may have situations where you have to add additional codes such as your external cause codes indicating the who, what, where, when, and why. If this is the situation, that injury, the reason the patient came in, will be our first listed diagnosis code. We are still going to fill out A, B, C, D, E if we have it. If we need a resubmission code, if we have to resubmit the claim, we'll put that resubmission code in the left-hand side of Block 22. Otherwise, we will put the original reference number in the right-hand side of Block 22. Otherwise, we'll leave it blank. Prior authorization number. This is very important with workers' compensation. Not only do we have to have authorization to treat the patient, sometimes we might actually need a prior authorization number. This needs to be obtained in order for us to properly treat the patient and for the claim to be paid. If we do not have this information provided in Block 23, the claim will be denied. So make sure if you have to get that prior authorization and you need that number to put it in Block 23. Now, if that patient is only there for the one day, we're going to go ahead and put this in Block 1 of 24A. Remember, if they're only there for that single day, we do not need to put that 2 in. Place of service will be 11 for the office, 21 for the hospital. If it's an emergency, which is going to be your 24C, we are just going to leave this blank with workers' compensation. 24D, we're going to put that patient's, that E&M code first, and then if we do any other CPT or HCPCS codes, those will follow. If we have any modifiers, make sure to put them in the appropriate spot. Now, make sure with 24E that we are linking that ICD code in Block 21 with that CPT or HCPCS code in Block 24D. Now, with the charges, this will once again be found on your scenario sheet. Make sure to treat that dotted line as your decimal point, and make sure to fill in 24G. Remember, if you don't have any units or quantity specified, it's a quantity of 1. Block 24H will be left blank, since this only deals with Medicaid, and we'll also leave Block I for 24 blank as well. We will put that rendering provider's NPI number into Block 24J. If there's any additional CPT codes, we're going to go ahead and fill out 2 through 6 in order of charges. Otherwise, we're going to move down to Block 25. We'll put the physician's federal tax ID number in here. Now, 9 times out of 10, they will use that employer identification number, or that EIN. However, if they use a social security number, that's fine. Just make sure to notate and mark the box whether we're using that physician's social security number or EIN. Block 26 is going to be that account number. With this, we can put punctuation there, as this has nothing to do with the claim and is just our own reference number. With workers' compensation, we are automatically going to go ahead and put yes for accept assignment. They will accept assignment and take everything as a payment in full. With workers' compensation, we will use a separate fee schedule that tends to be a little bit higher. Now, 28, we'll be adding up all the charges from 24F. Remember that dotted line is your decimal point. 29, we will leave blank. We do not need to put anything in here for workers' compensation. The patient will not be paying a thing as long as they are found that it is truly not their fault. Now, 30, we will leave blank. 31, we will have the physician sign, or we'll stamp the signature or put signature on file. For the case of all of the homework, type the information in with their credentials and the date. If it's a different facility, we'll use block 32. We'll put the name of the facility and the address, followed by their NPI number in block 32A. With this being just a billing provider and working in the office, just happens to be the same number, we're going to go ahead and put that information over in block 33. Remember to spell out any words. We're not going to use any abbreviations. We can use that two-character abbreviation for the state, and the zip code will have no punctuation unless it is that 9-digit. Also, do not forget their NPI number and 33A. If we are sending a workers' compensation, we are also going to need to send in additional paperwork about the injury itself. Make sure you have that accompanying paperwork when you send this in, otherwise your claim will be denied. If you have any questions, send me a message on the assignment. Have a great day.